Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Welcome. We're going to get started now. So thank you all for coming, and thank you for those that showed up on time at 9 and not Berkeley time. My name is Jue Tu. I'm the Academic Program Manager here at SCET, and we're so excited for the 12th Collider Cup. We have amazing presentations today from our courses, an opportunity for you to hear from instructors for fall 2023 courses later today, a student MC, and a lot of other exciting things today. And I'm going to now show you a welcome from our Chief Learning Officer, Ken Singer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ken Singer, and I'm the Managing Director and Chief Learning Officer at the Sutarta Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. Unfortunately, I can't join you here today, but I didn't want to lose the opportunity to welcome you to the Collider Cup. To our esteemed judges, I want to thank you for your time today working with our students and helping them with their presentations. And for our student teams, congratulations for being selected for the Collider Cup, and good luck today. May the games begin.
Great, and so I will let her introduce herself, but we have Zofia Kirner today as the MC. She was an innovator in residence in our one of our courses this semester, and she will talk a little bit more about her background and will guide you through the Collider Cup today. So let's welcome Zofia.
Can we get the judges on the side? Yeah. Thanks, Jue. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 12th annual Collider Cup. It's so crazy that we're collecting here. I mean, not exactly all of us, but here for the 12th annual time. This is UC Berkeley's showcase and pitch competition for the SCET Spring 2023 Venture Courses. Like Jue said, my name is Zofia Kirner, and I'm thrilled to be your MC this morning. Today's event is about celebrating innovation and entrepreneurship. The students in the audience here that will be taking on this stage have really worked tirelessly over the past few months to develop the projects that you will see today. And I can wholeheartedly attest to the amount of work that has gone into it because I actually observed it firsthand, being part of the Designing Startups to Transform Society Challenge Lab with Jill Finlayson and Anita Ballerman, and hosting one of our teams today. I'm also a Cal sophomore and data science student and the founder of Girls Future Ready Foundation, an educational organization that supports over 80,000 young women in Central Eastern Europe. After generating about $25 million worth of social impact, I started an impact agency called 51 to support corporations and individuals to be able to start their own social impact initiatives. So I know social impact is hard, and solving some very difficult societal problems is probably even more challenging. So therefore, hats off to all of our teams presenting today. UC Berkeley has a rich history of entrepreneurship, and it's actually topped the charts as the best public university for startup founders for over 4 years now. And this culture of entrepreneurship is alive and well thanks to the Sutarta Center of Entrepreneurship. The center opened in 2005, teaching only one course, but now teaches about 20 courses, educating over 2,000 students every single semester to support them in tackling the big journeys of entrepreneurship and solving a lot of society's crucial issues. And on top of that, they're colliding more than 80 majors all in one place. As you can imagine, solving some of these difficult issues takes more than one major to be able to properly address. These students that we see here are challenging the status quo, and we're so excited to welcome the next generation of leaders and disruptors. But now, speaking of leaders and disruptors, before our students conquer the stage, maybe it's time to welcome our esteemed judges who have probably the most difficult role today of evaluating our teams and deciding who will win the 12th Collider Cup. So let's let the judges give a chance to pitch themselves first.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jay Anda, one of the directors of investments at Marubeni Ventures. This is actually my 11th Collider Cup. And it's really exciting for me to be here, just because every semester I just get to experience, a perspective of what you see and the changes that need to happen in society, right, from the future leaders of this world. And so every semester when I come here, I'm just leaving excited and impressed at how you guys are seeing what needs to happen to create a better place. And so to everybody competing today, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Sandy. I am a growth operator and I've had a career at various companies. I actually started everything here at Berkeley as well, studying business, and decided to leave school and then ultimately join a very small company, Pinterest, when it was 30 people, left when it was around 2,500 people, and have been on this really interesting journey of figuring out how to help companies build growth models and grow. And it's been really fun. These days, I lead growth at a company called Descript. It's a generative AI video editing solution invested by OpenAI, and I'm also a venture partner at IOVC. So there's a lot of really fun perspectives that I'll bring to the table around growth and product opportunities, and really excited to see all of your pitches today. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Riddhi. I'm at Berkeley Skydeck Fund. I think most of you know who we are and what we do, but we love interacting with entrepreneurship on campus. Unlike Jay, this is only my second Collider Cup, but I had a great time last time, so I'm here again and maybe following in his footsteps. And yeah, super excited to see all the cool projects and companies that you guys are going to build and showcase today.
Amazing, thank you. Amazing. So you see, we have all the expertise and experience we need sitting right here in the front row. Before we get started and we get to the main part of today's event, I want to just cover a few of our organizational matters. Beautiful. First of all, you're of course welcome to take photos and videos, but keep cell phone use to a minimum out of respect to our presenters. Each team has 3 minutes to present, followed by 3-minute questions from our judges. So we're tight on time, and Rachel right here in the front is a maybe ticker for the presenters, will be keeping us on track of time. Also, probably the most challenging role of today. So keep an eye out for her. We also have some extremely exciting awards for our student leaders. So every team has a chance to compete for the Collider Cup, and then the first, second, third place award, and the most innovative award that will be handed out by our judges. But also, individuals in the audience have a chance to vote for the People's Choice Award. So there will be a poll that will show up on the screen behind me after every pitch, so you'll have a chance to vote for your favorite teams. And then all of our students and also faculty and people who are somewhat associated with some Challenge Lab and SCET courses get to flag their attendance, and we also win awards for their attendance and course evaluations. So even if you're here as an audience member, there are still some awards for you to grab along the way. All right, that's about it for organizational matters. Following the event, we have a networking session where you have a chance to meet our student leaders, our judges, the faculty, so instructors of the following courses. I will also touch upon some of the SCET courses that our students are represented today, if that's something you would be interested in enrolling in next semester. And that's all. So without further ado, I want to introduce our first team. Coming in from the Sports Tech, Entrepreneurship, and Future of Sports class, we have Optogenics. This team of elite student athletes is looking to leverage their platforms and experiences in order to revolutionize the world of sports nutrition. Please welcome Optogenics.
Hello. All right. Hi, my name is Bjorn.
My name is Gabe.
And I'm Jai. Gabe and I are on the track team here at Cal, and we recently found out that we've been taking the same supplements as each other, which makes absolutely no sense because Gabe's a long-distance runner and I'm a high jumper. Gabe needs his body to be able to endure a whole 10-kilometer race, while I need supplements that are going to help my body soar over 7-foot bars, releasing all of my energy into one jump. There's no way we should be taking the same supplements as each other. So we need a service that offers us personalized supplement plans based on our respective sport and genetic makeup.
Introducing Optogenics, the power to perform. Here at Optogenics, we offer all-in-one supplement packages based on your genetic sequence. After a one-time DNA test, your information is shared over to a machine learning database that will have access to millions of data points across millions of athletes around the world. Based on your genetic sequence, certain demographic characteristics, as well as comparative characteristics to other athletes in our database, our AI is able to personally cater to your optimal performance every single month. Now, this is not just a concept. It's science backed by 2 advisors across the nation willing to integrate DNA analysis into supplementation. All right, and this is a look at our competitive landscape. A lot of companies are taking the routine route, which is providing DNA analysis and a general brief along with general supplementation to every one of their consumers. Our competitive advantage is in automation and personalization of the product. Now, this is a look at our target markets. We have the pros, NCAA programs, and hobbyists. Today, we're going to talk about the contracting methods to the NCAA programs.
So our teammate and Olympian, Cameron Rogers, explained that knowing exactly what her body needs to perform at her best would give her the edge against her competition. And that quote is our exact value proposition to NCAA athletic directors. We're selling their programs this competitive edge and the convenience to their athletes. Here's a look at the market sizes in the supplementation and nutrition industry. This is over a $460 billion industry, and $10 billion of this comes from pro and NCAA sports. We're looking to start here because it's feasible and close to our hearts.
We're very passionate about Optogenics, and we've already gathered interest from 6 athletic teams across campus, including Athletic Director Jim Knowlton, who says, Optogenics has the ability to transform the world of sports nutrition. Their DNA-based supplement plan, tailored to each athlete's unique needs, could be a game changer. The business model relies heavily on license agreements with athletic programs across the country. For example, if we capture just 10% of all student athletes here at Cal, in 1 year, we're looking at about $51,000. This is Team Optogenics. We're perfectly positioned to grow this company into what we think it could become, as we also have NCAA scorers and Olympians on stage with us today. We're looking to bring on more advisors, especially in the field of supply chain and also biochemistry, and we want to thank the judges and everyone for coming here today. We've made a short 30-second promo if you guys would be interested in seeing it before we ask any questions. Thank you very much.
This is Anthony Mackie. He forgot to renew his Optogenics subscription. But Chris Evans? He did not. A simple home DNA swab paired with our integrated DNA analytics allows us to deliver the supplements that you need.
Don't say it! Don't you say it! Left. Come on!
Go to optogenics.com for pricing and plans.
I can start. Great presentation. Who's building out the tech?
Awesome. Thank you for the question. So we have people on the team. We have somebody actually in data science willing to create the machine learning technique itself. But the biochemistry, and we have Dr. Panzer as advisor who's willing to guide us in selecting the genes that we're looking for. We're mainly looking for genes that have variation that's very common across many athletes and demographics in the world. So we're starting with athletes, but it's going to go to everybody. Everybody wants a product that the athletes use that then personalizes to them. So targeting specific genes that provide variation in supplementation is our goal. So I could go further to talking like a VDR gene is about vitamin D absorption, right? And so there's a variation of the VDR gene that actually has a shorter protein that allows for less vitamin D absorption, right? So in that case, we'd have to actually provide more supplementation, and because of the risk of stress fractures and other things like that. There are many genes we could target as such, around 1,000 of them.
I wanted to ask, what does the ideal distribution look like? My understanding is that each of these experiences are very personalized to the end athlete, and so are you thinking about direct to sort of consumer to athlete, or what are you thinking around distribution in general?
Thank you for the question. So we want to start close to where we are. So we're thinking campus and athletic directors and whole teams as one is easier for us. We also think that as the athlete, they want to focus on getting that last percent. So what we offer is the convenience of you take the swab and we send you the packages monthly, right? So I think that's the way we want to go. We could broaden it out to amateurs and also hobbyists, also other professional sports, but we want to offer that whole holistic package, the HelloFresh of supplementation, if you want to call it that, and I think that's the way we want to start it.
We have time. Quick question. What are other areas that's applicable? Is this mainly only towards people in sports? Can this apply for people in academia as well? I know like nootropics was a big buzzword a while back. And it kind of reminds me of like the physical end of that equivalent.
Yeah, so Routine is a similar company. They use DNA testing to offer people just like general vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our competitive advantage. Like we're looking to use this science in order to help athletes reach their peak and like perform at their top. So yeah, it's definitely available to other people, and eventually we want to be able to give it to everyone who wants it, but yeah.
Okay. And how often do they need to swab? Like I'm sure the physical characteristics change over time.
Yeah, that's correct. So that's demographic information, height, size, weight, gender, sport, right? And that goes into the machine learning machine. And in the application, you're going to denote your changes, right? The DNA doesn't change. The gene sequences, they display differently over time. So sometimes your DNA will click and then the code will actually activate, right? But a lot of the genes, they actually do display themselves and stay for your life, right? So there are genes personally to an individual that's maybe not an athlete that's helpful as well, like circadian rhythm, right? So the optimal sleep time. And so if that's paired with the Apple Watch, on our application, we could say, hey, it looks like it didn't sleep well today. So for there, we could actually personalize more further to the actual consumer, depending on who the consumer is.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Great work, Optogenics. Super interesting solution. Next up on deck, we have Clinical. But let me first tell you a little bit about the class that Optogenics took to be able to come up with this really creative solution. So they come from the Sports Tech, Entrepreneurship, and Future of Sports course, which is both a challenge lab and a Berkeley Changemaker class. So it allows students to combine their love of sports and their love of entrepreneurship to come up with a really interesting solution in this field over the course of the entire semester. All right, next up on deck, we have Clinical from the Designing Startups to Transform Society Challenge Lab. Have you ever considered whether your medication will actually work on you, or consider the clinical trials behind these drugs? Well, this team is here to address the problems in the clinical trials industry. Please welcome Clinical. Before Clinical gets started, make sure to vote for the People's Choice Award using this QR code here. Thank you.
And then here's the clicker.
This is acetylopram. It's an antidepressant that I take every morning. And as someone who takes medication on a daily, I understand the difficulty in understanding the adverse side effects of my drug. And there's a reason for this. Currently, 74% of clinical trial participants are white, which leads to critical differences in drug response. Furthermore, there's a distrust and hesitancy towards clinical trials, considering high-profile malpractice cases in the past. And this is where Clinical Match comes in. We hope to act as a platform to make clinical trials more accessible to underrepresented communities. Our total addressable market, the clinical trial industry, is a $44 billion industry, and currently there have been up to $100 million pledges from major clinical trial companies and pharmaceutical companies to increase DEI.
So judges, we're in the Bay, right? So let's talk some tech. Behind me, you'll be seeing a live demo of how Clinical operates. Our technology tool helps clinical research organizations enhance the diversity of their participants. Using a simple drop-down menu, clinical research organizations can input their ideal demographics, considering factors like age, gender, race, income, and education level. Our backend then takes in this data, puts it in a machine learning algorithm, and compares it to the stored data set of community hubs, and then ranks the top 5 community hubs that they should go to. Our front end then immediately displays these results and provides locational data in terms of how they should go about and approach these community hubs.
Throughout our customer discovery process, we reached out to a variety of different stakeholders, from directors of diversity and inclusion of key pharmaceutical companies, as well as directors of community hubs and startup founders involved in the clinical trial matching space. But one of the key barriers we identified is that trust is the biggest barrier in recruiting marginalized populations for clinical trials. That's where our business model comes in. We are a subscription-based software as a service model with a subscription fee attached to it, to the pharmaceutical companies, as well as a success fee attached to every successful match made. We are a key product fit for this industry because of new FDA regulations that require diversity in all clinical trials. Our ask is for $150,000 for 15% equity in our company, and here is a breakdown of what exactly we would be using it for. Our main priority, though, is for mentorship and expertise as well. Our key milestones that we've done is we've done 35 plus interviews and established key relationships with community hubs and pharmaceutical companies. But we want to continue building our momentum by some outreach integrations, such as personalized guidebooks to each match made, and webinar trainings and resource managements to establish both trust and transparency throughout the clinical trial recruitment process.
Our mission here at Clinical is to build trust. We hope to serve as a proxy for recruitment and supplement the current processes that pharmaceutical companies have. Join us in this journey for change. Thank you. Questions?
I wanted to ask, how will you recruit and incentivize clinical trial participants?
So the main thing that we're using is community hubs as a proxy for recruitment. To actually incentivize the use of community hubs is that these clinical trial companies and these pharmaceutical companies will be providing free health screenings as well as webinars, actually teaching these people and participants within these community hubs about clinical trials, which is a key incentive. And another integration that we want to add is some resource management tools as well, such as providing grants to these community hubs and other resources as well.
I want to also note during many of our interviews, time and time again, we got feedback on how we had to build a tool to supplement current processes and had to be patient-centric and outreach-focused. So by connecting to the patients through these community hubs and building a trust with these community hubs first, we'll easily have access to those patients.
Gotcha. I just wanted to clarify, so the tool that you're proposing is a platform where both the people running the clinical trial as well as the participants can basically communicate and access information.
Yeah, it's more of the people running the trials and the community hubs itself. And it's like to help them find the specific community hubs that suit their needs. Any other questions?
Just from a trends perspective, like where do you think the major opportunities are for clinical trials like these? Like, is there a target segment that you guys think could scale more quickly?
It really depends on the disease and focus, and that's one of the key value propositions of our product itself. For example, diabetes is really targeting both Black demographics and brown demographics because those are comorbidities in those populations. So then when a clinical trial is designing their trial, they'll use our platform to see, hey, what are those key community organizations that I need to start increasing my presence in order to potentially recruit participants in there. And then not only is by recruiting participants from a community hub are you getting participants, but you're getting participants that actually know what this trial is, have input in this trial, and are going to be strong participants that will be retained throughout this trial, which is one of the biggest issues in clinical trials today.
Good. Okay. All right, good job.
Great work, Clinical. All right, everyone, you know the drill now, so we are voting for the People's Choice Award to rank our opinions about Clinical just using this QR code right behind me. Beautiful. And while you guys take a second to vote for Clinical, I will tell you a little bit about the Designing Startups to Transform Society Challenge Lab course. This course is about the process of observing, designing, inventing, and implementing novel solutions aimed at transforming society. Students explore how for-profit ventures that are also focused on their, for example, ROI and business profit, still are able to do good. helping communities to become self-reliant, prosperous, while confronting inequality, global climate change, food insecurity, clinical trial diversity, and many, many more topics. So if this is a course you might be interested in taking, make sure to check the SCET website for more details. Beautiful. I'm assuming everyone has voted for Clinical by this point, so I am excited to introduce Deplastify the Planet course with Bayersdorf. In partnership with Deplastify the Planet and Bayersdorf, this team of students has developed a sustainable bandage that is both better for the planet and better for you. Welcome.
Bandages can be pretty inconvenient. The one my teammate is holding hinders the movement and might not even last one single hand wash. Looking at a traditional plaster, you guys might see that this is all non-degradable and has synthetic plastics. Sustainable plasters on the market might have a fraction of having biopolymers, but the degradation challenge still exists. Now, consumers have become aware of this, and a quote that you can see is, "There has to be a change to help the environment." To put this in numbers, 250 billion bandages are used and disposed every single year, which translates to about 100,000 tons of plastic ending up in landfill or waste system and maybe even nature. Our partner Bayersdorf is from Germany and produces about 5 billion of these bandages every single year, and they challenged us as a team to develop a sustainable wound closure system for everyday wounds.
In addition to improving for sustainability, we wanted to create something that inherently performs better. How we scoped our metrics was by interviews, an extensive literature review, and a consumer testing survey, which we partnered with Bayersdorf for, that received over 1,000 responses in over 3 countries. From there, we narrowed our objectives to convenience, comfort, and enhanced healing, while targeting carbon footprint reduction and materials waste reduction. Then, we went to the drawing board to create a holistic solution that prioritized both the consumer and the environment at every step. This led us to multiple rounds of prototyping and experimentation with biopolymers, and this is what we came up with. Breaking it down, we have a wound pad that accelerates healing, an adhesive that enhances durability, and a coating bracketing for breathable and waterproof protection. In conjunction, these yield a 100% bio-based rapid healing bandage.
We leveraged the cradle-to-grave framework, and we broke down our approach into 4 stages. What's unique about our Band-Aid is that it's 100% bio-based, biodegradable. The materials can be locally sourced from waste streams and mycelium, and they have multi-purposes. We proposed Bayersdorf to cut their bandages from a roll using our design tessellation pattern, and which not only eliminates waste, but also creates a diversified product range.
The resulting shape range ensures better coverage for any part of the body. Additionally, the plant extracts uniquely expedite wound healing. And lastly, the green tint on the wound pad cancels out the redness of any wound, can tell the user when it's time to change the bandage because it will eventually absorb into the body, and it is good for all skin tones. Realistically, the bandage will either end up in the trash or fall off in nature, for example, if a kid is playing outside. However, unlike any other product on the market, our bandage will have no negative impact no matter where it ends up.
All these factors in conjunction yield 20% of materials saved in production, a 70% reduction in carbon footprint, and 100,000 tons of plastic prevented from entering our waste streams or nature. With this, we've created a better bandage for both you and the planet. With that, thank you. And we encourage the judges to look at our prototypes if they haven't done so already.
Awesome work, guys. What's the cost difference between what a current bandage in the market looks like and what yours would look like?
Great question. So immediately to start off, there would be a higher fixed cost of implementing infrastructure to source from agricultural waste and mycelium. However, we estimate that with petroleum becoming more scarce and with mycelium being really easily scalable due to its low resource needs, that our product could actually be cheaper to manufacture after that fixed cost is implemented.
What do you anticipate that cost to be, just out of curiosity?
It was a very, very small fraction of €1 when we estimated for a plaster. I think we might have to keep those numbers a little bit under the wraps due to an NDA we have with the company. But yeah.
Fair enough. And how long does it take to actually biodegrade?
That's a great question. So in comparison to a traditional plaster, or bandage, which is comprised of synthetic polymers, which won't degrade for hundreds of years, this would degrade in a few months. So it won't degrade on the time that it's on the consumer's body. However, since it is completely bio-based, it will degrade in nature very readily.
What triggers the biodegradation process?
So this can be triggered by compost conditions or generally by being in nature, even if it's, for example, eaten by an animal or consumed by soil microbiomes. This won't result in any bioaccumulation due to the fact that, again, there's no aggregate microplastics or anything that wouldn't be found in nature in the first place.
Good.
How are you thinking about selling this product?
So we actually conducted some consumer testing survey through Beiersdorf, and they have released that survey in 3 different countries, not here, unfortunately. However, we have gotten really positive feedback. 9 out of 10 consumers said that they would buy a plaster or a Band-Aid just like this. They call them plasters in Germany. They also are willing to pay up to 20% markup for this type of Band-Aid.
Gotcha. Are you mostly thinking about distributing online, in stores? Like, what sort of the thought process there?
Beiersdorf already has their product line called Hansaplast. It's kind of like Johnson & Johnson's Band-Aid line. So they already sell that in pharmacies. They also partner with hospitals, which we also tried to, we did like some interviews with nurses and doctors. So we got really positive feedback from them as well.
Cool. Good work.
Thank you.
Perfect. Great job, guys. Now we're going to take a second and once again vote for the People's Choice Awards right on the screen behind me. We would love to have your feedback, and I'm sure that Beiersdorf would love as well. So right now, Premia is on deck while I tell you a little bit more about the Deplastify the Planet course. The world is clearly drowning in plastic, and we have the responsibility to do something about it. So the Deplastify the Planet course pairs up with various corporations and companies ranging from startups to established corporations and are able to assign student teams the role of coming up with innovative solutions to their deplastify problems. Past partners of this class have been Beiersdorf, Whole Foods, Microsoft, Allbirds, Nestle, and many, many more companies. So if sustainability and climate action is your passion, then this may be the course for you. All right, let's hope everyone has voted. Now, I would like to welcome Premia from Redefining Success, the Unspoken Rules of Building an Entrepreneurial Career class. Keeping our favorite online tools running is getting more expensive. So here to show you a more sustainable way forward is Adam Goldstein with Premia. Welcome.
Oh, were we able to get the presenter view working? I know we had talked about that. So, sorry for the delay here. Unfortunately. If not, I can. No worries, that is fine. Sorry, one moment here. All right, thank you for giving me that moment there. Hello, I'm Adam Goldstein, and I want you to meet Alice. Sorry, that's Bill. Alice. Alice is a developer. When she's not poring over volumes of sonnets, she's working on her latest side project, BardBot. After all, who doesn't want to have a chat now and then with the Bard of Avon? She knows a few ways she could try to make some money off this. She could sell some ads. She could lock some features behind a restrictive paywall. She could put the whole thing behind a giant paywall. But that's not what Alice wants to do. Alice made something that she's really proud of, and she just wants to share that with the world. However, what happens next is unfortunate but predictable. Someone on TikTok found her site, 100,000 people gave it the squeeze, the hug of death, and now she owes $500 to AWS. It happens. But that's not what actually happened to Alice. Because that badge in the little corner of the screen there is a very special one. Introducing Premia, privacy-first, ad-free, frictionless monetization that gets out of your way. We're about as simple as monetization gets. Our users pay $5 a month, we take 10% for fees and growth, and we give 90% of that back to the sites that you actually use every day. You spend half your time on one site, they get half your fee. Simple as that. Just that $5 is enough to replace the revenue from 30 ads every single day. And signing up couldn't be easier. As a developer, just verify your email. We'll send you some personalized code, pick the format you want, copy paste, you're done. As a user, enter your email and billing info, quick as you see right there. You're done. You don't even have to sign in again every time you want to use a partner website. Just glance in the corner of that screen. Anytime you see our little logo fly away, you know that you're not going to be seeing any paywalls or any ads. Community support is really core to the software development community. We want to be able to show that we're supporting our fellow developers, but we also can't go broke here. We can't support everybody individually. With 70% of developers blocking ads all the way back in 2018, you can bet that we're not really looking to add these into our own projects we're making. But current solutions make that really hard. And couplet-slinging Alice isn't alone here. On Product Hunt today, 101 new products were released, 61 completely for free. But even as that happens, costs are constantly rising to keep these services we love running. Why us? We have experience in this. Substack, if you want to do easy monetization, you're a blogger, you go to Substack. You're a vlogger, you go to YouTube. You're a developer, come to Premia. Thank you.
I didn't completely understand the business model. So who pays the $5? Who gets it back? Is it the user that pays it and then the developer gets it back? What does that look like?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the question. The idea is that we have users and developers.
Mm-hmm.
So users are anybody, but we're also targeting people in the developer community to be users as well, who would pay $5 a month to have ad-free premium access to any of the websites that we're partnering with. And then we take that $5 with a small cut, and we redistribute that based off of how much you actually visit those sites that we partner with.
So how do you ensure that users are going to these sites? Because these are new developers, right? And users are probably using sites that they always use. So how are you redirecting them to these new developer sites?
That's a really good question. There's a few ways that we're looking at doing that, though that sort of redirection is not our primary goal. We do want to create a gallery view to sort of have people be able to showcase their projects on that as well. And also discovery tools like extensions, completely optional, but so you can see in your Google search result, hey, this service is using our site, this service isn't. So maybe you want to go to the one that is, because you know that you're going to get an ad-free monetization, driven experience.
For the ideal profile, the developer you mentioned, who sounds like maybe they're hobbyists, they're exploratory and building these projects, do you see this being an alternative to, say, launching on Product Hunt? Because I think one of the things that developers try to solve with Product Hunt is exposure and distribution. And so it sounds like with this, we'll call it platform, maybe you use the word marketplace, I'm not sure exactly. It sounds like they're solving more of the monetization aspect, or would love to hear a little bit more about how you think about that question.
Absolutely. I hope I understood your question correctly. I'll give a little answer and you can clarify. What we're trying to do is solve or create an easy way of monetization that you don't have to tinker with too much. If you want to add something in a little bit more special, you can do that. But we're trying to be the one-stop shop for just add a single line of code and you'll get some money coming your way from the developers who already want to be supporting these sorts of projects. Does that sort of answer your question?
It does. So it sounds like it's not necessarily an alternative per se. You can actually launch on Product Hunt, get traction, but more so like list within Premia so that you can actually monetize your service as well.
That's exactly right. And there's a lot of people who would put themselves on Product Hunt, and that community who views those projects would be exactly the type of people we're trying to market to. People who want to support these projects, see them grow, and who want to give back a little bit.
That makes sense. Thank you.
How did you come up with the $5 price point?
The $5 price point is something that we reached through a very unfortunately small amount of market research, talking to some developers in the community. We're looking to do more at that, but that was essentially a small, palatable, round number. We're looking to try to base that a little bit more off of actual costs in the future.
Good. All right. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Great work, Premia. All right, great work, Premia. Once again, let's make sure to vote for our People's Choice Awards and sign in your vote. Also behind me, you will see a QR code for roll call. So if you are part of any of the SCET courses, are a guest or an affiliate with any of the courses or an instructor, please make sure to drop in your attendance so you're able to win some audience awards as well and awards for your classes. All right, after you do this, we will take a 10-minute break. However, before we get started, we're going to do a really quick trivia with some questions about SCET. So the first question I have for you is, what year was SCET founded? Does anyone happen to know? Right here? Right here. Beautiful, that's correct, 2005. Fabulous. All right, and one more question before we roll out for a break is, can someone name all our 3 judges today? Just first names are okay. Right here. Yes. Beautiful, correct. Fabulous. All right, you guys know your stuff. That's why you're here. Beautiful. We're going to take a 10-minute breather and then come back for our remaining pitches today. Thank you. And if you haven't had a chance already, make sure to do your class roll call. All right, everyone, we're gonna come back in, refocus. All right. We hope you enjoyed that breather. It gave our judges a little bit of time to collect their thoughts and be prepared for the next set of upcoming pitches. All right. The next class that we have pitching in front of us today is the technology entrepreneurship class with their startup, Nano. Are you worried about the conditions of your products? Well, worry no more, because Nano has you covered with intelligent monitoring and tracking tags that are 10 times smaller and have a 10 times better battery life than competitors, providing optimum detection and protection for valuable assets. Please join me in welcoming Nano.
Thank you. Let's talk a little bit about inventory, logistics, and tracking. Expensive items go missing all the time, and the world needs to know where it's at and if it's actually working. Current technology, unfortunately, can't reliably track these assets because it's either too bulky, not intelligent, or just too expensive. And this is why we started Nano. We provide intelligence to the most valuable assets in the world. I'm Alex Moreno, the CEO and technical lead, and I've been working on this technology for the last 6 years as part of my PhD.
I'm Helena, I'm the product engineering lead, and I'm a Master of Design student at UC Berkeley. All right, let's talk about a use case for Nano. This medication sells for over $1,000 a month. It's in a $4 billion market, and pharma and insurance companies need to know its quality and location at all times. This is a perfect use case for Nano. Using Nano, we can track the location, temperature, humidity, and contamination of any asset. Using our software, users are able to interface with these assets and identify key metrics.
So a little bit more about the technology under the hood. It's been developed here at UC Berkeley for the last 8 years, and it's literally 40 times smaller than a penny, has a battery life that's 10 times better, and lighter than an actual feather. It's compatible with external sensors, Bluetooth, has an on-chip temperature and position sensor, and at 45 cents, it's extremely scalable. So, how small is it? Well, here's an actual demo. It fits onto your fingernail, and we actually put this onto the back of a Hornet, something that you can't do with off-the-shelf components at the moment.
Nano outcompetes existing trackers in every area, in price, size, integration, and sensing. We're currently focusing on the pharma tracking market, which is a $4.7 billion market. However, we're interested in expanding into other markets, such as tracking sensitive chemicals, packaging, manufacturing, and collectibles, among others. We're going to sell the tag for free. We're going to be making money by charging 84 cents per tag for a subscription service. By year 7, we estimate to be making $200 million.
So, in the next 8 months, we aim to validate our market, develop our prototype, and manufacture the custom silicon. And our ask is $750,000 for the next 8 months to be able to get that prototype out the door, demo the hardware to key customers, and acquire 3 letters of intent. And of course, manufacture the custom silicon behind Nano. Thank you. That's a great question. So Nano is actually compatible with Bluetooth, so you could read it with whatever Bluetooth device that you currently have, whether it's your phone, whether it's your laptop, or any other Bluetooth device. And what's the range on a Bluetooth reader should be? That's a great question. The range depends on how we design it. So for the antenna application, we actually had a range of 200 meters, and we also have other ranges that are a lot smaller if we want to make it really, really compact. So it can range from 3 meters to 200 meters. Mm-hmm.
I could continue digging down the technology side. It's really fascinating. No, this is great. Can you actually talk a little bit more about the use cases and that size form factor? right? Because it's not for shipping boxes, right? It's more at a more granular level. And so like in one of your previous slides in particular, it just kind of caught my attention. In this case, do you intend to put your chip on each one of those vials on the left?
That's exactly what we're thinking. Think about this tag as barcode 3.0, where you provide intelligence to every single individual item so that you know where it's been at, who's owned it, the temperature. There is no question about its authentication and it's also quality of the medication. So that's the main idea. And so you're right on the...
But those sensors add that to that cost of 79 cents or whatever it was, does it not?
So the main sensor itself is 45 cents and everything else can be trimmed down. At the moment, our cost of our unit economics brings us to about $2, but we aim to bring down the cost of the battery and the assembly costs as well. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Wait, sorry. So it tracks from 20 meters to 200 meters.
Depending on the design, yes.
Right. So I can't even put it on my kids.
Yeah.
They always run farther than 200 meters.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
The
good.
use cases that you say to piggyback on what you said are very limited for now.
So, are you all familiar with Apple AirTags?
Yeah.
So,
we have one.
Apple AirTags works with the same idea. It works with Bluetooth, it connects to an iPhone, and people use it to track their dogs or kids. So, the range of the actual device is not necessarily a limitation on the tracking capabilities. If this is ubiquitous and this is everywhere, then you will have a gateway at some point. For example, I lost my keys, and I was able to find it because there was an iPhone nearby that connected to it. In a similar fashion, this would also be able to do that because you can tap into the Apple Find My network that's an open to third parties.
I don't have to lose my child, my keys, my phone to actually use the product. Like there are multiple steps that I have to take to lose something. It's fine. I have no question.
Thank you.
Perfect. Great work, Nano. And just an unfortunate reminder, we're going to reserve our questions for our judges just because they're mic'd, so that no worries at all. We just want to make sure that people in the live stream also are able to hear the questions and answers. All right, you know the drill. This is the People's Choice Awards. If you want to vote for Nano to win today's People's Choice Awards. And let me tell you a little bit about the technology entrepreneurship class that Nano was representing today. Obviously, we wouldn't be at Berkeley, this wouldn't be SCET, and this wouldn't be Silicon Valley if we didn't have a technology entrepreneurship class. So this course combines a lot of accessibility to technology and combines it with all the business backend that students need to be able to create, initialize, and launch their own tech ventures. So combining passions like we saw today between technology, engineering, and product design and marketing to be able to bring together some incredible tech innovations that we are in huge need of in this space. Thank you again, Nano. And next, we have Clubsters from the Berkeley Method of Entrepreneurship Bootcamp. 1 second, let me give you their one-liner, their one-liner introduction. Have you ever felt overwhelmed navigating your university's clubs and organizations? Let's hear how these students are solving this problem. Welcome, Clubsters.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lean and I'm the CEO of Clubsters. We're creating this platform because universities all across the world have a problem in common, school clubs. And let me show you how. As the president of a student organization myself, the first thing I had to do was register the club. If I want members in the club, I have to advertise on several platforms. If I want to communicate with those members, I have to reach out on even more platforms. And if God forbid I want to host an event, well, best of luck. But wait, there's more. As a student, there's a fair in which I can explore over 1,000 clubs. But if I miss it, good luck finding them on your own. This is where Clubsters comes in. We help clubs, and we help students find clubs. With Clubsters, students and organizations gain access to their new primary tool.
Our platform utilizes artificial intelligence to match students based on their hobby and their majors with clubs. And what's even better is that we have a more efficient data server to auto-save and auto-fill all your previous responses, saving students a lot of time. So here's our prototype. On a landing page, you can learn about the big events happening around the campus, and you can explore clubs by categories. If you're unsure about what clubs to join, use our AI chatbot to ask questions or get recommendations. Learn more about clubs and apply with just one click. You can also submit your application easily with our autofill features and just RSVP and keep track for all the club events.
Our operating market is quite huge. Our current serviceable obtainable market to begin with is of 2.6 million students. Moving on to our go-to-market strategy, we'll begin our product launch with $6 per student paid by the university, as well as our free trial to student government as they serve as a ear to the decision maker and regulate all club policies. The $6 per student paid by the university would in turn be charged to students as part of their campus fee. This business model is similar to successful businesses such as Handshake and Piazza. In phase 2, we also will be adding additional source of revenue for students by streaming student-centric advertisements. Finally, in phase 3, we'll be leveraging our partnerships with recruiters to allow them to review past project portfolios, reserve rooms to host events, and directly recruit students from clubs, saving them time and companies' cost of recruitment. While there are competitors in the field, however, they only cover a portion of the features. The students have to jump around multiple applications just to get into a student organization. Thus, the universities would be able to cut costs of these multiple applications currently in use just for one Clubsters. This is how we'll be putting your money to good use. After a product launch, we'll be implementing grassroots marketing strategies by collaborating with student ambassadors, club executives, and university system to expand to all California universities by year 5. In year 5, we also have a planned charity proposal to provide this platform free to schools in underprivileged neighborhoods. So our ask is $550,000 in order to build a platform, market it to students, as well as support the student body from the currently chaotic club recruiting cycle.
We are a dynamic team.
Clubsters.
I was waiting to see who was going to be the first to mention ChatGPT and then technology. There we are. Great presentation. Do you guys anticipate building up more features? Like in the very beginning, you were comparing like all these other types of services. So my thought was like you were going to cobble them into one platform. But the presentation kind of mentioned that you're only doing the onboarding piece. How do you make sure that the students will continue to use this time and time again, aside from just the onboarding frustration?
Absolutely. So actually, the platform, we're going beyond onboarding. We're going from room reservations to RSVPing for events. So for this event, you guys could have used Clubsters to RSVP.
Next semester.
And we're expanding a lot beyond club recruiting. This would encompass everything that an organization needs or a club needs, as well as everything a student would need as well.
Additionally, to continue having additional source of revenue and having students use this to address additional pain points, a lot of students have trouble accessing game tickets or having recruiters. Recruiters are usually a little more skeptical. Okay, if you did this project in a club, they don't know if they've actually done it. So to add that, we put in a lot of work, but in our clubs, we put in about 20 hours per week. To add that credibility factor, we'll have recruiters also be able to access those deliverables and portfolios to help even with the recruiting. That could be additional source of revenue as well, and to keep the students keep using the Clubsters app.
Good.
I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on charging students versus working with universities?
So we will be charging students, as mentioned. This would be charged in turn to students as part of campus fee and student services fee. This is not directly charged to students. We're going through the university so that the university could also mandate all the clubs on campus to use this app. If all the clubs are not using our platform, it kind of defeats the purpose. That's why we're going through the university.
Gotcha. So your business model is actually charging universities based on the number of students it seeks for the platform.
So from what I've seen, onboarding isn't as much of an issue as just engagement is. People tend to sign up to many different clubs initially and then drop off very quickly. Are you tackling that? or even on the flip side, right? You sign up to so many and then you just get spammed by emails and things like that, but you're not actually interested in all of them. So how are you tackling the engagement piece? Or if you are even?
When I mentioned that the multiple applications just to get into a club, that was part of the journey. So it's essentially saying that we have to go through so many applications just to get in. So you could only imagine the applications that we use to keep track of our clubs and to organize our schedules. So Clubsters would be helping us throughout our extracurricular journey and not just the onboarding process. And to keep the engagement going, our chat feature, which was shown, it helps club executives talk to their club members as well as other potential members that are interested. So it's not just the onboarding, but to keep the communication going and engagement within the clubs and interaction going, those chat features would be to keep a centralized platform for the club members as well.
Good work.
Amazing. Great work, Clubsters. Can you guys imagine that this was... All right. Great job, Clubsters. Can you guys imagine that this was created during only a 4.5-day boot camp? It's amazing work. Please vote for our People's Choice Awards. And let me tell you a bit more about this amazing boot camp called the Berkeley Method of Entrepreneurship. The Sukharja Center for Entrepreneurship hosts these biannual Berkeley Method of Entrepreneurship boot camps, which is an intense 4.5-day venture workshop held right here at Berkeley. So it's typically offered a week before the full semester begins, and it's comprised of Berkeley students, global participants, and working professionals, where students are able to go through the Berkeley Method of Entrepreneurship process, but in a much more condensed and quick version. So if you're looking for an introduction, this might be a very good way to get to be a part of SCET and get to know the Berkeley method. All right, let's hope everyone has voted. And now we will move on to the Outmeat and Product Design of Plant-Based Foods Challenge Lab. Crabs usually cost an arm and a leg, or maybe 8, and only becoming harder to source in this challenging climate. Now introducing Uncracked, shellfish without the catch. Welcome, guys.
Hope nobody's feeling like Will Smith at the Oscars today, but if that's what it takes to go viral. So. Good to go? All right. Yeah. Hello, we're Uncracked, and we're making shellfish without the catch. Today, we present to you a plant-based crab meat that's going to be available for a fraction of the price. So what's making us crabby about the crab industry? Well, first off, it's simply too expensive. Whether it's $20 a pound for stuff in the can or up to $60 a pound for it fresh out of the seafood aisle, is simply inaccessible for the average consumer. Not only that, this is because of climate change and overfishing, both of which have contributed to global crab populations dwindling in recent years, while pollution continues to deteriorate the quality of existing crab meat. Lastly, there simply isn't enough options that cater to a wide variety of dietary preferences. When we take a look at the crab market, we see that it's valued at $15 billion globally and growing at a rate of 3% year over year. However, this doesn't include a market of vegans and those with dietary restrictions, which we see as an addressable market for our product.
Uncracked tackles the problems that conventional crab and crab substitutes do not satisfy. Our 100% plant-based product blows the competition out of the water, featuring 1.5 times more protein than alternatives, high omega-3 fatty acid content, 60% less sodium than conventional crab, and is gluten-free, just as crab should be.
So our technology features a process that utilizes the power of plant-based ingredients, and in order to tackle these challenges in texture, color, taste, and nutrition, all without using any artificial crab flavors. This process begins with a high-quality protein extrude and is then enhanced with our proprietary crab flavor, all in order to bring an oceany, craveable crab that uses fewer gums and fillers compared to the alternatives. And we see our total estimated ingredient cost for this clean product to be $1.05 per pound, which is a whole order of magnitude lower than conventional crab. We see this scalable process as able to provide a uniquely crab experience from our shell to your shelf. We position ourselves as a B2B business and plan to sell directly to grocery stores as well as sushi restaurants. And here's our plan to do that.
Here's our roadmap for the next year, which will include ongoing research and development to improve our crab meat. For the first 3 months, we want to focus on customer discovery and move into customer validation. By 9 months, we will establish partnerships with local seafood restaurants and grocery stores. And by 1 year, we want to see consumers enjoying uncracked. We see this technology as a model that can be applied to other crustacean alternatives, such as lobster and shrimp, and we estimate this entire process will take $1.5 million in funding.
So far, people love the taste and texture of uncracked, and we hope you do too. Thank you so much from our Colossum team. And we're open to any questions at this time.
The vegan California roll.
Cool. Can I actually try one?
Yeah, of course.
Trust me, we've eaten too much of this.
Okay.
Sorry, we don't have enough for everyone. But.
Oh, yes. I'll grab that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How long have you guys been working on this product?
Just a semester, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is needed for it to come prime time? So I've worked with the Alt Meats Lab group for many years. Every time there's always something clever and unique. This is the first time I've heard about plant-based crab meat. But what do you think is required to get to like that commercial state?
So we actually see this as a very very market-ready product. We only really need to start to do validation and understand the customer demand for it in terms of like what else do people want to see, including not just the people who are eating it, but the restaurants that need it as well.
How did you pick crab, and what about your technology makes that scalable to shrimp and lobster and other shellfish?
Yeah, so we chose crab initially because not many people know that artificial crab is actually not vegan. It's not vegetarian either. It's made out of fish and like fish waste. And so we just really saw a need in the market for a vegan crab meat because right now a lot of the vegan seafood is tuna and salmon, and we really just did not see any crustacean alternatives. And we see it as applicable because by manipulating the proteins, we can get the texture we want and then adding our own flavoring.
Can you speak a bit to the cost basis for a restaurant or somebody deciding that they want to use this rather than other types of imitation crab or crab meat in general?
Yeah, so if you go to the grocery store, the Dungeness crab meat is upwards of $60 a pound right now, and so that makes it really inaccessible for consumers and for stores and restaurants to use. And then the imitation crab is also really inexpensive, but then it also is not including vegans, vegetarians, those dietary restrictions. It is not as nutritious as our product or real crab. Yeah, does that answer your question?
It does, and just the problem you're solving for restaurant owners or food distributors, are they primarily trying to expand their menus to sell more products?
Yeah, there's definitely been an increase in vegan seafood restaurants and just overall increase in grocery stores of alternative products.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Yes, I did.
Amazing.
So good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Great work.
Yes, thanks so much. Huge congratulations to Uncracked. I tried one of these crab rolls and they're really good, so I can attest to the fact that they are onto something. All right, let's bring it back in for our next upcoming pitch. Before that, feel free to vote for Uncracked for our People's Choice Awards. All right, a few words about the Alt Meat Lab and Challenge class. This is a class where students interact closely with entrepreneurs, companies, venture capitalists, and plant-based organizations to acquire a holistic view of the plant-based food space. They learn the principles of food science applied to design and production of plant-based foods, and working in teams, they tackle industry challenges to design real, novel, plant-based products. Again, that was the Alt Meat Lab, if that is interesting for you for next semester. And next up, we have the product management class with Smart Speech. Imagine if you couldn't speak or express your thoughts. How would you feel? Introducing Smart Speech. Welcome.
Can we get started? Okay. Autism is really common in the United States, with 1 in 36 children being diagnosed every year. And about a quarter of these people who are autistic are also nonverbal, meaning they don't communicate with spoken words like you and I do. My brother is one of these people who is nonverbal, and the way that he communicates is using a text-to-speech app called Proloquo2Go, which is shown on the left, and there's a similar app called Spoken shown on the right. And the way these apps work is that the user can click on a button and it will say the word out loud. Just looking at this interface, it's pretty crowded, and there's a lot of simple words on here, so growing up with my brother, it's really easy for him to express what he wants and his functional needs. However, expressing emotions and having deeper conversations is really difficult, and that causes a lot of problems growing up, so that's what we wanted to address with Smart Speech.
With Smart Speech, we want nonverbal people to have a proactive conversation. Over here, we have our 3 main interfaces. The first one showing what a conversation would look like in terms of responding. With our personalized conversation starters, we want nonverbal people to not just take an input, but have that output for themselves for the first time in their lives. They'll be able to initiate a conversation and use their inner voice. And lastly, we want to incorporate educational tools so they can attain that proficiency.
Our main differentiator is the fact that we have a machine learning algorithm to predict entire sentences for the user to say. No other app has done this before other than Spoken, and Spoken does it for words only, so the user still has to press button by button in order to communicate. So our app predicts entire sentences, improving communication that way.
Here is a demo of our coded prototype.
Hi, Leon. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. I went to the mall this weekend. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Hi, Leon. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. I went to the mall this weekend. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Oh, it's not playing. Can you just move it to people's side?
Sure, let's do that. Ready? let's do a few more trivia questions. This is a fun one.
Hi, Leon.
The SCET office when we get this up and running. Did you guys know that there is actually a fault line that stands on the SCET office building in the stadium? Does anyone happen to know what this fault line is called? Oh, wow. Okay, right here.
Wait, so when we do cover, we'll just do the demo slide again, right?
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Get another question. Who can name a company that is founded by an SCET alumni? Any company. Right here. Nice. Any more? We can name a bunch. Right here.
He's gonna recover from the.
Nice. Right here.
Just start over.
Awesome. So right here.
I don't think you can start over.
Perfect. Right behind you.
Yeah, start from the video.
Nice. Very cool. Any others?
Yeah, just start over from the beginning.
Nice. Very cool. So see, we have so many examples of great companies founded by SCET alumni, in addition to the ones you're seeing on stage today.
Is it playing?
Now this is a really good one. Which U.S. president was awarded an honorary law degree at the 94th UC Berkeley Charter Day celebration? Anyone?
Or like
To be honest,
you're
I
not
looked
presenting
this
in
one up
Google
too.
Slides from the beginning.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it one more time. Maybe
Yeah, I
that's
think so. Yeah.
Which U.S. president was awarded an honorary law degree at the 94th UC Berkeley Charter Day celebration? Right here.
I can play it when they're.
No, it wasn't. Right here.
say sorry. All right, thanks for your patience, guys. Here's the demo, once again, of the coded prototype.
Hi, Leon. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. I went to the mall this weekend. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
So in order to validate smart speech, we conducted user interviews with nonverbal young adults who are on the spectrum along with their parents, because their parents still play a huge part in their lives. And with these interviews, we were able to see how smart speech could help express a broader range of emotions and color the user's voice with their own personality. Regarding the market opportunity, with young adults in the picture, the total addressable market expands to $2.35 billion. With this expansion, we're not focusing on just young children with AAC apps, and we want to emphasize that the value of this product would be life-changing for our target users.
The social impact of this product is boundless. First of all, we want to advocate for their mental health by giving them access to meaningful conversations. Second of all, we want to give them proactive voices. And third of all, we want to give them educational opportunities through our chatbot practice function. So our primary business model is B2B2C, where we want to make partnerships with different organizations that help nonverbal individuals, such as schools, districts, and speech therapy clinics.
Our team is really qualified to tackle this problem, not only just because we have a personal connection to our target users, but also because we have a diverse range of backgrounds in CS, business, as well as health. And in addition, we have a lot of great industry connections already. So we were in contact with the co-founder of Proloquote and also a past president of the Autism Society of America, and a lot of speech-language pathologists and assistive technology specialists at public school districts. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, any questions?
So why haven't your competitors thought of sentences before, and what stops them from doing that?
I think our competitors, they haven't really been doing a lot of work in this space. To be honest, a lot of people, they just use the same tools, so there hasn't really been a lot of new development. So I think it's mostly that, and also just the fact that I guess there wasn't a lot of people asking for new technology from this, so that's something we wanted to bring up. I mean, just because the target market is really small, I think that plays a big role, and also the fact that no one's actively asking for it, even though there is a need.
What made you, go ahead.
No,
What made you decide to go the B2B2C route instead of direct to consumer, right? Like, I figure that these are very individual frustrations that I think, like, if I was aware of a product like yours, why would I need to go through other channels versus like directly buying it at an app store?
Yeah, I think most of this was just because with my brother growing up, a lot of the AAC apps he was exposed to was not through individual research, but through school districts and people who supported him. I think it's just the best way, really, because there's so many people and there's not a lot of organization other than outside of these organizations, even though we do want to provide this on the App Store just for anyone to purchase as well.
Good, good.
Earlier in the presentation, I noticed that you used the keyword nonverbal rather than specifically talking about those individuals diagnosed with some level of autism spectrum. And just curious, are you thinking about it applying more broadly to other constituents or users as well?
Yeah, so this product could definitely be applied to other people outside of people who are on the spectrum. We're thinking of deaf individuals who don't have a voice as well. We're also thinking of stroke survivors who might have their speech affected because of stroke.
And your business model, like, what are you planning on charging? How does that work?
So based on the competitors, we believe that we could charge users a one-time purchase if they directly bought it from the App Store, or we could also use a subscription model if they just want to use it on a monthly or yearly basis.
And in addition, when we were selling licenses, we would just sell it based on the number of students. So we were thinking around $100 per student in a school district who bought a license from us.
Good.
Thank you, Smart
Amazing. Great work, Smart Speech. And these guys are coming in from the product management class, which is another one of the SCET courses that introduces students into the way product managers work. And I see all of you have the habit already to vote for our People's Choice Award, to vote for Smart Speech. All right, that was our last pitch this morning when it comes to our student pitches. How did they do? Good? Great. Fabulous. And before we get to the very exciting part of announcing our awards for today, I would like to shift gears to the leadership class and an introduction about what they learned over the past semester.
Hi, I'm Carrie Requist. I'm the instructor for the SCET leadership class, which is Leadership Exploration and Discovery, that we call LEAD. You've seen some great pitches, great product development, but in order for entrepreneurs to be successful, we need more than just great ideas. We need to know how to lead companies. If leadership was one answer and easy, I'd be a really easy one-unit class, but that's not how it is. And so I've brought two students who graciously volunteered to do this, Shrishti and Dina, who are going to give you a little taste of the class.
Thank you so much, Carrie. We are super excited to talk to you guys about this class. So we want to do something different. So the format of this presentation is that we're going to present you questions and statements and give you options. And we want you guys to raise your hands for whatever option you think is correct. So the first statement is that leadership can be learned. So how many people believe that this is true? Nice. What about false? Cool. And what about both? Yeah. So what does the research say about this? So a lot of researchers do acknowledge that some people are in fact born with more innate leadership qualities, and which may give them like an advantage. But leadership can in fact be learned. And one of the key ways that this is done is through a growth mindset. And this is something that you can learn more about in this class as well.
Our second question is, who is the leader? So here we have some pictures, and I want you all to raise your hands. So who thinks that person A is the leader? Okay. What about person B? Person C? And then lastly, person D. Okay, so the right answer is that all of these individuals are leaders. So although we hear a lot about big name leaders such as Elon Musk, and also immediately associate people in positions of power such as President Biden as leaders, less known leaders such as a university scientist or a student volunteer can also be great leaders, potentially even better ones. And one of the main themes of our class is that title and authority are not required to be a leader.
Yes, so the next question is kind of different. It's about imposter syndrome. So specifically, it's about how many tech workers experience or have imposter syndrome. So how many people believe it's 37%?
It's by gender. It's a huge difference by gender.
So that's right. And females have, in fact, do have higher rates of imposter syndrome, but this is like an average from one specific source. So how many people believe this is 37%? How about 12? What about 58? Wow. And 55? Yes, so the correct answer is, in fact, 58%. So the reason why we wanted to include this question is that it shows how prevalent imposter syndrome really is, and the importance of raising awareness and normalizing conversations regarding imposter syndrome, because at the heart of it, leadership is about empowering others, and in order to do that well, you must believe in yourself.
Okay, our last question is, what is 2 plus 2? So how many of you think A is the answer? I hope so. Okay, so unlike 4, there are a few simple answers in leadership. Leadership varies depending on who the leader is and what their mission is. Leadership styles vary based off of the individual's personality and even which field they are in. So if you want to learn more about what type of leader you are or how you can be a better leader, you should take Carrie's class, Leadership Exploration Discovery, in the spring. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. So good to hear about all these great opportunities. All right, now I will ask our judges to go ahead and deliberate who they would like to select for the first, second, and third place. You can feel free to step out, discuss, while we shift gears to Jue to talk about the SCET certificate and other options that are available for you guys through the Center of Entrepreneurship.
All right. Hello, everybody. For those of you who may have come a little bit late, my name is Jue Chu. I am the Academic Program Manager here at SCET. Those of you who are in our class, you may know about the SCET certificate. We are open to all majors. All majors are welcome. You don't need to apply to the certificate before you apply in the last semester of your last class that you take within SCET. All of the classes that are offered for a letter grade, you need to take for a letter grade in order to qualify for their certificate. And moving forward, only SCET classes will count towards a certificate. If some of you may have taken a class from a different department that was on our approved list in the past, that will count, but moving forward, starting in fall 2023, it will not count. We have 3 different tracks of the certificate. So the coursework track includes taking the Newton class, which you'll hear a little bit about in a few minutes from our instructor, and 5 units from SCET. The startup track is the Newton class, 4 units, and then participation in a startup. And if you go to our website, you can learn more about what startups qualify for that credit. And then we also have the Global Entrepreneurship and Innovation Summer Program, which this year is happening in Segovia, Spain, and Porto, Portugal. So if you're interested in that, it's currently full for this summer, but keep an eye out for those of you who will be here next year. The application opens in February. And it's a great experience, and that will also give you the certificate. So now I am going to actually invite Ricardo up to chat about the Summer Venture Lab. And then,
Great. Is everyone clapping for me? That's great. So thank you, Jue. For those that don't know me, my name is Ricardo, and I work with SCET and our global academic programs and our international students that are a great addition to our classes. So before I get here, I just want to say congratulations to all the teams that presented here today. I think, yeah. I think getting up in this stage is proof that you did a great job over a long semester. So that's great. I also want to say, speaking in front of audiences is hard, and you all do that great. I get all nervous, so kudos to all of you that do this with ease. But having said that, having congratulated everyone that's here, you're all young entrepreneurs. You're working on your startup projects, and some of you are wondering, what are the next steps? That's why I wanted to tell you a bit about Summer Venture Lab, which is a 6-week program, 6 weeks, 6 academic units. It's a program that's going to be running in the summer, sponsored by SCET, created by our academic team to fill up this need, which is we have a project, we have an early stage idea, maybe we have some customers, maybe we have some validation, and we want to know what comes next. We want to take that momentum that we have and take it to the next stage. This is a Summer Sessions A for Berkeley students that are familiar with this. We'll start on May 22nd and we'll end in June 30th. And as I said before, it's 6 academic units over the summer. It's going to be an intensive class that's going to deliver a lot if you are an early stage entrepreneur. As of now, the class is designed, the program is designed so at least one of your team members can join. All of your team members can join, but in a way to make things efficient, as at least one team member can join. We have around 10 teams that are going to be part of this program so far. It's a very interesting mix of international teams and Berkeley teams. I can keep talking about this for hours, but correct. Okay, so Mark Cial, which is one of our beloved instructors. I always find it hard to say this because I'm going to praise Mark, but all of our instructors are great, okay, if you're in the room. Mark has earned it's hard, I'm sorry. Mark has earned the People's Choice Award, the Best Instructor, several semesters in a row. And if there's something I can say about Mark, once again, I'm biased, but based on students' reviews, like Mark is one of those rare individuals that will give you straight feedback, whether it's good or bad, but all of it will be towards the benefit of your idea, of your startup. So Mark is great. He's going to be teaching this 6-week program. And there's a QR code if you want to learn more about it, but I'm around all day also. If you want to just come chat, we can have coffee. Once again, 6 academic units, 6 weeks. Accelerate your startup, take it to the next level. And if you have any questions, just reach out. Thank you.
Excellent. So we're going to do another class roll call right now. While I ask the fall 2023 instructors to go ahead and come up on stage here, and they're going to pitch their classes to get you to enroll and interested in them if today has not already piqued your interest. The only thing is that Gert and who else? You have a side. Yes. So you guys should be at the end. But then, yeah. And then we can sort of go one by one. Yeah. All right. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Constance. I am not the course instructor for this class, but I'm excited to be here on behalf of the Disasters in Innovation Challenge Lab. So in this class, you'll have the opportunity to work with your peers on solving the challenges faced by first responders and the Coast Guard. And so this can be anything from wildfires, oil spills, and contamination disasters. We are so passionate about solving issues within the sphere. And if you are too, we hope to see you next semester. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Ria, and I'm here on behalf of BMOE Bootcamp. So Bootcamp is unlike any other class here on campus because it's only 1 week long, and it's the week before the semester begins, but it counts for 2 units for the semester. And this unique timeline creates a completely immersive experience where you spend all day listening to amazing speakers, learning through challenges, and then working with your team on your own startup. And industry experts will come in every day to mentor you for your company and your idea. The class is also half international students and half Berkeley students, which creates this really unique mixing pot of ideas. It's also on the Reddit thread for must-take classes at Berkeley, so that says something. So I've been a TA for 3 semesters, and it's my favorite week of the semester every time. So sign up for Engine 183B.
Who's the instructor?
Oh. The instructor is Gigi Wang.
Oh, there you go. Hi, everyone. My name is Amir. I am here on behalf of 183E, Technology Entrepreneurship. I had a pleasure of coordinating it this semester with Professor Naeem. This class is basically designed for the teams that are trying to build venture funding startups. And the class is also give you the opportunity to have all of those harsh feedbacks if you are looking for it. We have a couple of people took that class and they're laughing. So if you want to have those harsh feedback before going to the investors, take this class and we'll solve those problems before going through the real investors. But yeah, great to see you all.
I just want to tell everybody out front there is this sheet of paper that has all the classes on it. And then I also wanted to ask, has anybody taken the Newton Changemaker series in this room? Whoop, whoop. Fantastic. My name is Victoria Howell. I'm the instructor for the Changemaker series. If If you haven't figured this out by now, innovation is a multi-sensory experience. And at the Newton Distinguished Innovator Series, a Berkeley Changemaker course, students have the opportunity to see any number of incredible speakers, listen to stories of their success and their failure, and interact with them, whether it's introducing them, asking them questions, or even having dinner. It is a one-of-a-kind experience. People rave about it, and we are thrilled that people take it multiple semesters. It takes place on Tuesday nights. We are in Liekeshing Auditorium, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Join us for this one credit course, 183A. Just want you to know it's an A, even though it's a non-graded, and 283A. Thank you very much. Hope to see you all there.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Chow. I'm here representing Deplastify the Planet. Thank you very much. You've heard from our team this year, Team Beiersdorf, but every semester we have a great roster of partner companies who pair up with students to work on a semester-long sustainability challenge. So I think most of us in this room have an idea of what a sustainable future can look like, but what most of us struggle with, and what most of our partner companies struggle with, is how to get from here to there. This is the transition that can take us from our current way of doing things, linear systems, non-recyclable, no circularity, into the sustainable future we want. So helping these partner companies define that vision and define that strategy is the core of our class, and we hope you'll join us for Deplastify the Planet. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel. I'm representing Luke Kowalski's class, which is a class that compares the success and failures of businesses. So if you were the individual in your friend group who was explaining why Silicon Valley Bank failed and you were doing the research behind that, or if you were the one explaining to your classmates when we were on Zoom why the new environment is creating a great place for Zoom to thrive and you were reading the articles for why they were succeeding, this is the class for you. In this class, we go hands-on into different case studies specializing in AI, machine learning, and blockchain, as well as healthcare companies, taking a nitty-gritty look at why they fail, why they succeed, and everything in between. And if you're one for a nice class deliverable, at the end of the semester, the class puts together a book compiling all of our case studies and taking a really good look and providing that education to others about why companies fail and why they succeed. So I highly recommend, and I'll be the course coordinator in the fall as well, if you want to see my face again, I don't know.
Hi, my name is Sarah Klass, and I'll be lecturing the AltMeat Labs fall course, Sustainable Solutions in Plant-Based Food. Now today you saw a talk by our spring course, Uncracked. They made some sustainable crab that is very delicious, highly recommend when it hits the shelves. However, in the fall, instead of developing your own business plan in alt-based foods, what we'll be doing is we'll have an overview of the plant-based food and also food innovation market. We'll cover everything from vertical farming all the way to the analysis of alternative proteins for plant-based foods. Now, I encourage all of you to check out more class info here. I made a nice little QR code. I think we're all used to those after today. So yeah, please check out the course. And yeah, with that, we'll let Dirk take the stage. I'm sorry.
Woo woo. Hi, I'm Gert Kristen, and I will teach the Connected Life Challenge Lab in the fall. Question: who used their phone or looked at their phone more than 10 times since you got into this room? Mm-hmm. That's all of you. You see, you too are truly living the connected life. And that's what we explore in this class. It's not only us, including me, it's your car that, it's your Tesla that sends images overnight. It's your Toyota that orders spare parts when something's wrong. It's your fridge that orders a new filter or milk when it's empty, and. And this is a fact of life today. It's neither good nor bad. It's just the lives we live. So if we accept that, and open up, we can solve a whole bunch of new problems that this life creates, such as, San Francisco police learning how to give us a self-driving car without a driver, how to give it a fine, or which is funny, but it's a true problem that even governments will have to figure this out. These are some of the questions that we tackle, but also some really useful, helpful things like this weeding robot here that uses GPS and precise mapping. Can you imagine how much broken backs a machine like this could save? This is done manually today by people on their knees all day long. So connected life and technical solutions can also be a blessing. And I would welcome you to sign up for this class, 183C, in the fall to help some unique challenges of our connected life. Thank you.
Thank you all, and hope to see you in some of these great fall classes. Oh, one more. Yes, Rachel.
Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm here on behalf of Mark Searle for Startup Catalyst. I'm the course coordinator for the class. My name is Sejal Goyal. The class is basically, in a nutshell, for each and every startup of every stage. It doesn't matter whether you're an early stage idea or if you're already post-revenue. We encourage you to apply for the class. The philosophy that Mark takes in terms of teaching the class is as long as you're moving from the point that you entered the class with, you are successful. So it doesn't matter if you're moving towards a pivot, a no-go, a go situation. As long as you're making progress, that is a successful outcome of the class. We do this by talking a lot about business models, by learning from the community in the class. There are startups from every industry and every stage in the class. So you actually get a lot of unexpected insights from just hearing those people present every other week. Hope to see your applications. Thank you.
Great, thank you all. All right, before we get to the winners, we have some other awards to hand out. We have the SEET Teaching Award. So for those of you who are in our courses, you may have received emails from myself, Keith, other members of the SET staff. We really take student feedback seriously as we're all here for you all. And all of our instructors put so much time and energy and dedication into their courses. The Teaching Award for the Best Instructor, this is the criteria that we use. We received so many different nominations from you all, and really appreciate the words that you all have to share about the instructors and what they mean to you personally, academically, and really lifetime influence on you all. So without further ado, this semester's Best Instructor Award goes to Derek Chan from Product Management. So I'll ask Derek to come on up and say a few words. And this is one of the comments from his nomination form.
This person is a liar. Thank you so very much for your inspiring work with each other this semester and for this kind recognition from our students, many of whom are here today. Our students already have taken some heartfelt gestures unexpectedly in class, and this just shows how much more insane you are. I feel very fortunate to be part of SEET and to collaborate with over 60 people just to have our product management class. And so this collage represents many, not all, of people in our group. I feel undeserving to accept individually, but very proud to accept as part of our group, our fun students here. I think some of you might recall how I feel about you, more demanding, less satisfied, higher performing than other cohorts I've seen so far. Our course coordinators, Arya, Renee, and Saper, and so much support and leadership from SEET, and hopefully it's okay for me to mention in alphabetical order, Jesse, Jue, Keith, Ken Sandy, Ken Singer, and Ricardo. And I think if it is not awkward, I'd like each of them to actually get applause so we can all share in this.
And then the next award is for the best course assistant or course coordinator. I know a lot of you applied for course coordinator positions. They're a great opportunity for you to learn directly with the instructor about how to run a class, to get to know your peers more. But there's a lot of responsibility, and some course coordinators really just dive right into it. And this year's nominee or winner received multiple nominations, and it's Sarah Tayami. So Sarah, come on up.
Wow, thank you so much. It has truly been such a privilege and pleasure to serve in this role and get to know so many insightful and incredible human beings. Every single person that I've met that's a part of this SCET community has just really made me feel like this is a family, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so thankful to have had the opportunity to witness all of you making connections and building relationships in such unique and fruitful ways. And I really could not have done this if it were not for my co-course coordinator, Elisa, and for Jill Finlayson opening up the opportunity for me to even step into this role for the first time a year ago, and of course, Shuo Chen and Gorik Ng for being such incredible leaders. And I just am so thankful again. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this. Thank you.
And now I'll turn it back over to Zofia to announce the winners.
Thank you. All right. Well, now that we learned about all these classes, we have a full schedule for next semester. I know I do. But now, without further ado, and thank you to our incredible judges for coming up with the final decision, let's list through the prizes that our first, second, and third place teams will be receiving today. The top 3 teams will receive founder passes to TechCrunch Disrupt 2023 and help lead the Berkeley delegation at TechCrunch Disrupt and receive custom networking training with SCET. Additionally, the top team will be automatically accepted into the Skydeck Pad 13 incubator program, and the second place team will receive an interview with Skydeck staff. The top team will receive $5,000 in AWS credits and access to entrepreneurs on the AWS Startup BD team, and the second and third place teams will receive $1,000 in AWS credits. Wait, there's more. The first, second, and third place teams will receive priority registration to all of these incredible classes that you listened to today. And the SCET course with the highest percent of course evaluations completed and highest percentage of students present here today are also receiving a class prize that Jue will then introduce to the class after the event. All right. I hope no one has any questions because I think it's time to drum roll and announce. Yeah, afterwards. Never mind. So sorry for the drum roll. We are going to have a few words from the judges about how difficult this decision was, and then I get to open this envelope and then tell you who wins. So judges, if you want to share a few words. Yes.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Well, as another semester of really innovative ideas and concepts, right? As you can imagine, like a little bit during the pandemic, a lot of the ideas and innovations were around like mental health and community. And that's evolved, right? We've gone past this whole thing about COVID, and now we see a lot of examples, especially this semester around inclusivity, right? There's a diversity of team, but inclusivity of thought, and then sustainability. And so this is really like forward thinking this semester, and I really appreciate everybody's efforts today on presenting your concepts, right? Because this is what matters, and this is what's going to matter to us in the future. So congratulations to everybody that's presented, and we'll see who the first, second, and third winners are.
Perfect. Feel free.
That was super impressive. I was particularly impressed by two things. One was I felt like the founding teams and the presentations were really well aligned. Individuals really took their unique insights from their own positions, being students, being athletes, being individuals who have a lot of unique insight about the problem and created ideas that I think really align well with their backgrounds. The other thing I was really impressed by was the amount of market validation that happened. I know that this is a very limited time span in which you're conducting analysis and research and talking to customers. But I think in a few cases, some of the teams had even run surveys with thousands of responses and talked to more than several dozen individual users. So the amount of validation work put into these projects really shone through. And then I think the last thing I'll mention here is that the presentations were all very well polished and very impressive. Just the sort of amount of style and articulation and presenting and simplification for us as judges, having sort of this limited amount of time to understand what you've all been working on. Really impressed by all of it. So thank you so much for all the work and effort that you put in, and just really excited to kind of show you where we landed in terms of where we thought some of the most impressive presentations were today.
Yeah, I just want to echo most things Sandy said. None of y'all look like student projects. Most of y'all look like businesses. In fact, all of y'all look like businesses, which was super impressive. Going from anywhere 4 weeks of doing this to a semester of doing this. So congratulations to you guys, and thank you for showcasing all your innovation to us.
Awesome. Thank you to our judges. So we're going to start off with our raffle prizes for our members of the audience. Beautiful. And if this is your number, come up to Jue after the event to collect your prizes. All right, ready? 822049 is one of them. Let's hope that's somebody. Is it? Good. Very, very good. Okay. Next, we have 822105. Hold on, there's more. 822111. If this was you, come up and find Jue afterwards and you'll grab your SCET goodie bags. All right. Now, without further ado, we get to find out what's in here. Oh, wow. How professional. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with our People's Choice Awards, and that is Bayersdorf. Congrats, guys. Perfect. Great. We're going to have the teams come up here. All right. Next, we have the Most Innovative Award. Picture first, then. It's like phone eats first, right? Oh, let me just come on. Amazing. Congrats, guys. Thank you. All right. Next, as the Most Innovative Award, we have Nano. Please come up. Photo, yes. Great. Congrats, Nano. Next, we have our class award. So the winning class today is the Redefining Success Challenge Lab. And you guys feel free to collect your award. I believe it is something very tasty from an SCET alumni company waiting for you outside. All right, now for our third place winner, we have Clubsters. Please come on up. Great job. Thank you. Yes, right there. Great. Congrats, Clubsters. Great work, guys. All right. Our second place winner is Premia. Grab a photo, yep. Huge congrats, Premia. All right, and now for our first place and the winner of the 12th annual Collider Cup, we have Uncracked. All right, so this wraps up our 12th Collider Cup. Huge congrats to not only our winners, but also all of our participants today. So before we move on to our networking session, where you get to ask all of these lovely teams all the questions and give them all the investment checks that you have prepared, we will take a winning photo. So we'll have all the winning teams. Actually, let's do all the participating teams come up on stage, and we'll take a big group photo, and then we'll move on to networking. Thank you for everyone for coming. Yes.
As everybody is coming up to the stage, we say at SCET, your journey starts here, but I want you to know it doesn't have to stop here. We have professional programs, and you'll see some other individuals. If you see older ones, they're part of the professional program, so make sure to network with them.
Yeah, please come to the front for the photo. I think pretty much everyone, come to the front. And also we have a step and repeat out there, so if you have a team photo, you can take that team photo out there too.
People in the front.
All right, yeah, let's come together, guys, for the photo. Kind of squeeze in. Squeeze in. Instructors, everyone, please come to the front. Be part of the photo. Of course. Please join the photo. Everybody's welcome to the photo. Please come in. Let's squeeze in, down in front and squeeze in, please. All right, enjoy the networking.